guys, welcome back to the channel. I am doing something a little bit different today. There will be no vlog for this week. It will, however, be my birth story. Everyone's birth story is different. Some people have a fantastic birth story, and then there's people who have a terrible birth story. Mine falls right in between, where it was happy at the beginning, but totally scary at the end. So it starts back on February 13th. It's the first day of my mat leave. Both Jordan and I are off. We're just chilling at home. We both have a feeling that I was probably going to give birth any day now, even though Noah wasn't due until February 26th, which was like 13 days later. But anyways, I wanted to, kind of take a shower and relax. So on that day, Jordan's playing games. I said, hey, babes, I'm going to go upstairs and take a shower. He's like, yeah, no problem. I figured while I'm in the shower, or while I am taking a shower, I'm going to go ahead and groom myself down there. I said, well, if I'm going to give or have a vaginal birth, I don't want to look all, ghetto and functified down there. So I wanted to groom myself a little. So I'm upstairs. I do this little contraption because when you're out to here, 38 weeks pregnant, you need devices to help you out. So basically I had a stool, my makeup mirror, I'm sitting on the toilet, and I have my, my electrical shaver, and then I have, the regular one. So anyways, I'm going along shaving, and all of a sudden, I don't know if I sneezed or if I coughed, I noticed that a gush of liquid came out of me. And I was like, I wonder what that is. I figured, hey, maybe I just peed myself, because at this point, you kind of have an uncontrollable bladder, so you just pee at any time. So I thought nothing of it, continued, took a shower. As soon as my shower was done and I was stepping out of the shower, I felt another gush, and I was like, oh crap, what is that? So I called Jordan upstairs and I asked him to look while I'm sitting on the toilet, like, what's coming out of me? He doesn't know it as well because he thinks it's just pee. So we go ahead and call the hospital. I tell them what's going on, and basically the nurse said, put a pad on, call me back in an hour. If you feel it, come to the hospital into labor and assessment, and basically we will assess you and see if your membranes have broken. So an hour passes, I'm laying on the couch, nothing happens. So I call them back. I said, look, nothing has happened, maybe it's just a false alarm, maybe I just saw something. But she said, continue to monitor, continue to wear a pad. So I did. That evening, Jordan and I made up with my parents for dinner. It was my mom's basically belated birthday dinner. So we went to this all-you-can-eat sushi place, but of course I didn't eat sushi. And yeah, we're having a good time. And then as we're heading home and Jordan parks the car on the driveway, I get out of the car and I feel like this gush. And I'm like, yep, I think my water broke. But I'm still not sure because I don't have any contractions. All I have been having was period cramps, and they were really low. They were in my groin area. And people were saying that typically it's higher up in the abdomen, so I wasn't feeling that at all. So I call labor and assessment and I tell them what happened, and basically they said to come in so that they can look at me, take a look. So we go in, they put a fetal heart rate monitor on me, the contraction monitor, blood pressure, and all this other stuff. And basically, Noah's heart rate was good. It was 150. I was not contracting. I was already at least 3 centimeters, and my membranes did break. But unfortunately, that night, there wasn't any room in the hospital, nor were they fully staffed. So basically, I was told to go home and see if I can contract on my own, because otherwise they would have to induce me because I wasn't contracting and my water had broken. So I said, okay. They said, come back, call at 8 o'clock, or go home, call at 8 o'clock in the morning, and basically see what happens. So we slept through the night. I call in the morning and they say, well, we still don't have any room. So basically continue to contract at home. I was like, okay. Forgetting that a lot of people basically planned their birth around Valentine's Day, and this is the reason why there wasn't any room. First. Secondly, the hospital I was going to is very small. It's basically made for a town, not for a city that it's becoming. So I wait, and basically at around 11 o'clock, I go to the washroom and I notice that there was blood. So I call them back, and basically they're like, oh, hey, Ernan, yeah, come back at 1:30 to be reassessed. And I was like, no, I need to come back now because now there's blood. So they tell me, okay, come in, get assessed, and then we'll take it from there. I come in. They don't check me internally, but they check Noah's heart rate again, and if I'm contracting, and my blood pressure. And basically, everything was still good, but no contractions. So, once again, I was being sent home. But this time around, we were able to speak with the OB, and basically, Jordan and I were able to voice our concerns, saying that, well, we heard that if, you're without amniotic fluid for a while, then, there could be an infection or something could happen. Oh, yes. What's going on? You want to be part of this? Yeah. Come, Noah. Noah's in the mama room. Say hello. He's been a fussy little bugger. He's been wanting to be held. Right? Yeah. So anyways, so then basically we voiced our concerns about the whole amniotic fluid, or not having any for a long period of time. And so the OB determined that we should just come in at 7 o'clock that evening and basically be admitted to be induced. So we go home, we prepare ourselves, we pack the car, we pack his car seat and everything. And at 7 o'clock, we headed to the hospital, only to be told to wait in the waiting room, because again, they didn't have anything for us. So I think by 8 o'clock, I was finally put into the labor and delivery room and hooked up and basically put on Pitocin or oxytocin, I forget which one it's called. And the nurse basically increased it, I think, either every half an hour, or every 3 hours. Because again, I still wasn't contracting. I think he's making up poops. So you might see his face go all red. Don't worry. That's how he looks. And he only likes to poop when I'm holding him. Anyways, to make a long story short, I labored for about 13 hours. I pushed for 3 of those hours, only to determine that I would be having an emergency C-section because I developed a fever of 39.5 and an infection because of the lack of amniotic fluid, and because this little bugger's wasn't going to come out of me naturally because my pelvis was way too narrow. Oh, what happened? What happened? What happened? Who did it? Who did it? And he wasn't going to come out of my birth canal because my pelvis was way too narrow. And, I mean, my mom, I was a C-section baby myself because my mom's pelvis was narrow. Anyhow, so I go in for my C-section, and basically this little one was taken away almost immediately because they wanted to start him on some antibiotics just in case he developed anything while he was inside of me. Oh, to rewind a little bit, the reason why they expedited it is because his heart rate actually dipped and would, it wouldn't be detected at some points. So everyone basically kind of got worried and kind of freaked out. So yeah, so he was taken away almost immediately. Jordan had to fight for me to see him for more than, the second that I saw him, from one area to another. And then after that, he was like, Noah was taken away. And I think from the time he was born at 8:03 a.m. to the time that he was shipped to another hospital, I had only been with him for maybe less than 2 hours, because he had to be hooked up to the monitors and to this special bed. And I myself, because I just had a C-section, I couldn't be transferred via wheelchair to him. So I told Jordan he needed to stay with Noah, the whole time. Do not leave his sight. So I basically didn't see my husband either from 8 a.m. on. So anyways, so Noah was taken to another hospital. I did not follow him that evening because it was really late. He had to be taken to a special care nursery, and I stayed in the hospital that I was at with my mom. I was transferred the next day, and I feel like my experience at this other hospital was already like 65,000 times better than the experience I had from the hospital that I gave birth at. Basically, they give me the wrong medication, postpartum. Apparently, you're not supposed to mix naproxen with labetalol, which is a blood pressure medication, because naproxen can elevate your blood pressure. What else? The anesthesiologist at this hospital was really, really mean. I am 5 foot tall, and I was like out to here. By the time I was wanting my epidural, I was having contractions every 1 to 2 minutes, and he was pissed that he couldn't do his job quicker. So, yeah, it was just like, it was a nightmare, basically, at that other hospital. The saddest thing was finally seeing Noah, and he had an IV on his hand, which eventually had to move onto his foot. He had to stay in an incubator the whole time. I wasn't able to breastfeed him because I wasn't with him. I felt so bad for Noah. And then I felt so bad for Jordan because he hadn't slept since probably Saturday, just worrying his brains off because, I'm not with my son. So, yeah. But by Tuesday, I think that was February 17th, both Noah and I had a clean bill of health, and we were discharged home. And I'm telling you, that was the best day ever. To take our little son home with us after a horrendous, couple days. A lot of people are saying that we should file a complaint, do this, do that. But you know what? In the end, I am home healthy. He is home healthy. And that's all we could ever ask for. The only issues I'm having right now is that where my incision is, it's still hurting, even though it's 5 weeks out. I thought I was getting an incisional hernia at one point because there was a little bit of a bump on at the very end of one side. But, it's starting to go away, but the pain is still there. I know I still have to take it easy. The bleeding is on and off, down there. The bleeding is on and off. It only comes back on when I do way too much or I carry heavy things. They say that I should never carry more than what he weighs. So at the moment, Noah weighs 10.8 pounds, so I shouldn't be carrying more than his weight. So, yeah. So basically, that's all. I'm having some, not issues, but I'm still trying to get used to breastfeeding. Noah is a biter and a chewer, so he's liking to nibble on my nipples, so they're a little bit sore. But once the initial latch is done and he's sucking, I feel fine. I may have to end this video because the little one is getting fussy. I think he's hungry. So, So yeah, so that's my birth story. If you have any questions, leave a comment down below. I'd be happy to answer anything that you may want to know. And if I missed anything, I'm probably going to be saying it on his 1 month update. So please stay tuned to that. And basically, this is my postpartum body. Like, I've always been a heavy person. The only issue I have is, like, I have the extra, you know, skin from your stomach stretching out. So that's what I'm currently going to work out on after my 6-week checkup with the OB. So I won't be able to really do anything excessive until then. But anyways, yeah, so that's about it. Bye!